We often hear that gum disease is caused by not brushing or not flossing enough, but that's only part of the picture. You see, there's a whole other aspect to the health of your mouth and the health of your gums. And this includes things like the pH of your mouth, your biofilm or the bacteria that are in your mouth, and your diet. So in this video, I want to talk about a new study that came out talking about a nutrient found in tomatoes that can be a key in reducing the risk of gum disease. So your gums in your mouth, just like every other part of your body, is a living tissue and it reacts to inflammation in the body. Now, normally the biggest cause of this inflammation is plaque on the teeth. Plaque, or in other words, a biofilm of bacteria, is loosely attached to the teeth. So you have this like loose film of bacteria on the teeth that get underneath the gums, that get around the teeth. And if this isn't cleaned away pretty regularly, this can cause inflammation. The number one sign of inflammation in the gums is bleeding gums. And then you start to get like swollen, puffy looking, like reddish looking gums. These are all the signs of the start of gum disease. And this is why we always emphasize brushing and flossing, because whenever you're brushing and flossing correctly, you're removing all this plaque around your teeth, underneath your gums, and in between your teeth. And this is why it's also important to go to the dentist, because during your cleaning, you get tartar scraped off. So tartar, unlike plaque, is hardened to the teeth. So when this plaque and this bacteria mix with the saliva and mix with all these minerals, they kind of get hardened, they kind of get stuck to the teeth. So now your brushing and flossing won't be able to remove it. This is why when you go for your cleaning, they have to literally scrape it off. Sometimes use this like water scaler type of thing that basically polishes and scales off all your teeth to make them clean again. Because this tartar, just like the plaque, will cause inflammation. If it's not cleaned away, it's going to keep causing more problems. Now, what really starts to upset people is when they try to do all the right things, like brushing and flossing, going to the dentist, but they still have some gum inflammation. And that's because there are other causes of gum disease too. We already talked about your diet, but also like different health conditions like diabetes or different habits like smoking can also play a big factor. So now let's break down this study. This study was focusing on tomatoes, now specifically an ingredient in tomatoes called lycopene. So the reason that researchers like lycopene is because it's an antioxidant and it can reduce inflammation. Now, lycopene is also what causes that red pigment. So that red color in tomatoes, things like watermelon or grapefruits are all because of lycopene. Now, when it comes to reducing inflammation in the mouth, researchers are always really interested because inflammation is the key driver of gum disease. So let's talk about the study. So researchers were looking at health data from over 1,200 adults between the ages of 65 to 79. And they were doing this using data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, or I like to call it NHANES for short. This is basically just a really large health study that's run in the US. So they were measuring two things in these participants. So the first is their dental exams and what treatment they needed and what their diagnoses were. And the second is what they ate over a 2-day period. And they kind of used this to estimate how much lycopene they were consuming. Then the researchers basically split everybody into two different groups, people that were getting enough lycopene and people that were not getting enough lycopene. Now, quick side note, almost 78% of people were not getting enough lycopene in their diet. So most people were on the lower end of getting the lycopene in their diet. Now, what the interesting part was the people who had more lycopene had a much lower risk of getting severe gum disease. Specifically, people with higher lycopene intake had about 67% lower odds of severe periodontitis compared with people with low lycopene intake. So periodontitis literally is severe gum disease. So gum disease comes in stages. You don't just wake up one day and have really severe gum disease. So you can have healthy gums, and then the first stage of gum disease is called gingivitis. This is like the most mild form of gum disease. Now, within gingivitis, you can have mild gingivitis or severe gingivitis, but either way, gingivitis is still on the milder side because it's all reversible. Gingivitis means gum disease that only affects the gums. So you'll still get that bleeding gums, you can have puffy gums, but you won't get those like deep pockets, you know, like when the hygienist is measuring your gums, like they're shouting out 2, 3, 2, and sometimes they'll shout out higher numbers like 5, 6, 7. Those are higher numbers, and those are signs of that gum disease passing gingivitis and going into periodontitis. Now, periodontitis, unlike gingivitis, affects both the gums and the bone. Remember, gingivitis only affects your gums. Periodontitis affects both the gums and the bones. And this is when you start to lose the attachment from your gums to your teeth. That's why you get those deeper pockets, because your attachment from your gums to your teeth is getting loosened. You're losing that attachment, so that perio probe that the hygienist is measuring goes deeper and deeper. And you also start to lose bone. You start to lose bone in your jaw. Your bones start to pull back from your teeth, that means your gums also start to pull back, so you get this gum recession. And this is actually the #1 reason that people end up losing all of their teeth and getting dentures. Now, going back to the study, people with the most severe gum disease were eating the least amount of lycopene overall. So what do we take from this? We take that eating a higher amount of lycopene was associated with having less severe gum disease. But all this shows is there's a link between the two. It doesn't really show that one causes the other. I say this all the time in my videos. Just because two things are related doesn't mean that one causes another. Now, the study also had some other interesting findings. Smoking was a big risk factor in getting severe gum disease. People who smoke had more than a 3 times chance of getting severe gum disease compared to people that don't smoke. And this is actually part of the reason why whenever we do like dental implants on a patient, we're really concerned when they are a smoker, because we know instantly the fact that they're smoking lowers the chance that this implant's going to be successful. They also found that men tended to have higher rates of severe gum disease compared to women. Now, this one I think is kind of self-explanatory. I feel like women just tend to take better care of their oral health. They're more likely to floss and listen to the dentist, whereas men would be like, yeah, whatever, I don't really feel like flossing. Obviously, that's not everybody. That's just from what I've seen in my profession. One of the most interesting things that the study found was racial disparities in gum disease. Specifically, Black adults had over a 3 times chance of getting severe gum disease compared to white adults. Now, this could be, again, based off a variety of things. It could be things like access to dental care, differences in diet, smoking rates, socioeconomic factors, and possibly even genetics. Now, the reason why I think that there are more things in play and why we can't assume that the lycopene is the only thing that's driving gum disease going down, because specifically in those Black participants, there wasn't as strong of a relationship between eating a lot of lycopene and having less gum disease. So it shows that lycopene itself is definitely not the whole story. There's definitely more at play here. So the short answer is no, eating more tomatoes is not gonna fix your gum disease. And we know that once you have severe gum disease like periodontitis, that is irreversible. You cannot fix the bone loss or the tooth attachment loss that you had, but you can still stop it in its tracks. But what I think this study is showing is how complex gum disease is and how important your diet could be. And it kind of makes sense that people that would eat more lycopene, like tomatoes and grapefruits, would probably tend to have more healthier foods in their diet. And that could be part of the reason why they had less severe gum disease. And it could also be that those same people tend to have better oral hygiene practices. They tend to be the same people that clean their teeth better, that go to the dentist more often. But again, it's not just one thing. There are many things at play that contribute to gum disease. So that being said, what are some foods that are high in lycopene that you might want to include in your diet? Well, we already talked about a few: watermelon, grapefruit, and tomatoes. But even in tomatoes, it could be things like tomato sauce, tomato paste, and specifically if you are eating tomatoes, it should be cooked tomatoes. But I think what this further goes to show is that the mouth is connected with the rest of the body. And that includes if you're eating healthier and having healthier practices, not only will your mouth be healthier, but if you're taking care of your mouth better, that means that the rest of your body will probably be better as well. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked that video. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel below, and I will see you in the next video. The more I do dentistry, the more I realize that there's a lot of terrible advice out there. So today I'm gonna react to some of the craziest videos I've seen online. And I'll be honest in detail if these are some legit things you should be doing or something you should definitely run away from. Point of view, dentist wouldn't file my tooth, so I did it myself. He's literally using a nail filer on his teeth.